Introduction. If you are the target audience, by picking up this book, you have proven that you are well on your way to self-improvement. Chances are you are a narcissist, or at least have some narcissistic tendencies, and more importantly, you are starting to get sick of them. Maybe someone had a heart-to-heart with you about how you don't care or don't listen, and how they feel like more of a tool than an actual person. Maybe you have come to realize you don't have as many friends as you thought, or perhaps you find living your life as a slave to the approval of others is just exhausting. Regardless of the source, this desire for change is commendable. You might be feeling conflicted. The world has told you repeatedly that you cannot change, that you are a monster, and are deserving of swift, disproportionate consequences. Everyone should point and laugh at you while you lay in the mud. The bottom line is that you might feel utterly alone in this, which is not entirely wrong. Before we start, we should review what this book is and is not. This is meant for a person who is a narcissist or that has narcissistic traits and wants to improve. This is not a book on outsmarting or detecting a narcissist. This book is written with the understanding that anyone is capable of real human growth. While we will examine narcissists whose actions have caused harm to themselves and others, it is not coming from the angle that narcissists are evil or conniving people that need to be put in their place or receive retribution. Many of these behaviors are rooted in mental health and coping with a traumatic world. Think of narcissism as more of a fuel than a spark. However, this book is not going to coddle you either. Whether you want to admit it or are even capable of seeing it at all, your actions and thought patterns, regardless of their source, have probably hurt you and someone else. To begin the healing process, you must come to terms with the effects of your actions. Your first lesson is that how you perceive or intend something does not matter when someone else is demonstrably hurt. You will learn how narcissistic actions look from the outside, what they may look like from the inner recesses of your mind, and how to begin the process of unlearning. It will feel like peeling off a suit of armor you have been wearing your entire life, piece by piece. You may realize that armor was more like taking a security blanket to war. Your real armor, sword, and shield will be learning what it is to be a good person, how to empathize, and what that means to others instead of just you. Here's the rub, though. Philosophers have grappled with that question since Plato, and we will also examine that fact. It's easy to think that people are born good or bad because that frees society up of any responsibility of teaching people to be one way or the other. The truth is that goodness is predicted on a social contract instead of purely on DNA. A person that has faced life never knowing love, proper social interaction, or learning basic morality has very little chance of becoming what society deems as good. Some people point to sociopaths and serial killers that showed red flags from the start despite growing up in a typical household, but these are the exceptions and not the rule. The fact that therapy and medications can be wildly successful, especially at most early interventions, proves that your destiny was never set in stone. Mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. Marcus Parks, last podcast on the left.